So I put out this tweet saying, apparently I'm the only one who thinks this looks like a dumb kid's show. Why does he have a cringe human sidekick? And I got a lot of people commenting. I mean, some people agreed with me. I'm very well aware that a lot of people like the Sonic movies, and I'm very aware that a lot of people are excited for the show. And if you were one of those people, I'm happy for you. But I have some issues with it. Let's just start with the concept that apparently because Sonic is a kid's show, or it's a kid's game, that any adaptation of Sonic is immune from any kind of criticism at all. I'm actually getting this pushback, and I'm kind of shocked by it. I can't think of a single other franchise or fan base that would respond this way when a show doesn't meet the standards of the person critiquing it. Like, just think about Mario or Pokemon or any other video game adaptation, you know, that's based on a kid's property. You know, The Last Airbender, for example. If you have criticisms of the adaptation and people come up to you and say stuff like this, why do you hate fun? Or, chill, man, not every movie and show has to be a cinematic masterpiece. Or, it's a kid's show. Or, isn't it meant to be dumb children's entertainment? Or, since when is Sonic for adults? So, imagine if, like, Toy Story had a show that came out and it looked bad to you. You thought it looked shitty. And you were, like, critiquing it. Like, oh, this isn't supposed to happen. Or, they changed this character. Or, why did they do this? And someone just said, oh, since when is Toy Story for adults? Why do you care? Or if someone said, oh, since when is Mario for adults? Why do you care how they present the world of Mushroom Kingdom or how they present the Easter eggs or any of this stuff in the game? Wouldn't you call this person a consumer? Wouldn't you slap this label on them like this right here? John C. And just be like, you're telling me to just consume product and don't ask questions? Really? Okay, normie. Okay. Honestly, why is Sonic any different? Now, I'll explain what I don't like about this trailer. And keep in mind, I'm not a huge fan of the first two Sonic movies, especially the second one, or at least parts of the second one. I mean, you had this entire, like, quarter of the movie dedicated to a wedding where a bunch of black chicks are running around with tasers trying to hunt down, like, FBI agents. No Sonic, no Tails, no references to the games, nothing at all. It's just shitty rom-com joke after joke. She's driving a freaking golf cart. It keeps coming back to this over and over again. That shit's dumb. The whole TikTok dance segment inside the Russian pub or whatever the heck that was stupid to me. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that I don't like about those movies, and I'm seeing more and more of that in this trailer. For example, Sonic has one of the most diverse locations and settings of like any video game. And there's a lot of like unique, you know, international locations and like cool pyramids and jungles and things like this. And there's so much to like get excited about, like for a Sonic movie or a Knuckles TV show. And what do? The entire show looks like it's going to be set inside of a house with a bunch of IKEA prop furniture and punching holes through walls, again, just like the second movie, and locking mailmen inside of the basement, and then like sitting down playing with a dog. And it's the most uninspiring aesthetic that I can possibly imagine for a Sonic TV show or a Knuckles TV show. There's so much potential, but it's like, as soon as I start talking about like the lack of creativity here and the lack of art design, art direction, I get pushback. People are like, oh, it's just a kid's movie. Who cares where they are, where it's located, or whether or not they're using any locations from the actual source material. So, I mean, if you want to keep using these like normie consumerist arguments about like, Lofty criticized this movie that I'm really excited for, just shut up and watch it, Lofty. Just enjoy it. Just be a kid. It's like, maybe stop doing that. You look like this guy. You look like this guy. You know, I wouldn't expect a new Lion King movie to come out and be, you know, and like that Mufasa movie, and if you have criticisms of it, like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. How does this, why does it look so bad? Why does it look so soulless and lifeless and blah, 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 blah? I'm not gonna come up to you and go, oh, just shut up and watch it. Just consume it. It's for kids anyway, just consume the product. Like, this is so dumb. Also, getting back to what I was saying about like the potential for these shows, like, where are the rescuing of animals? Where's that? I haven't seen that at all in any of these movies. Why is that not a thing? Why does Knuckles have like this chubby human sidekick out of some Disney Channel show? Why can't he have an echidna sidekick? I mean, I know in the movie they talked about his clan getting like destroyed or something, but why did they write it like that? I don't know. Like, I wouldn't have written it like that. I would have opened it up for a possibility for them to return, or for like him to meet one of his relatives and then like team up with that person or team up with some other character besides Seth Rogen wannabe. Knuckles, help me! Why can't he have some cool sidekicks? I don't know. Why are we limiting Knuckles to like this like neighborhood aesthetic where he's stuck in doing like fighting bad guys in bowling alleys? What are we doing? This is boring. Why do people have no standards? It's like, yeah, it's a kids movie, but there's a difference between bad and good kids content. There's a difference between E.T. and like Bob the Builder or the Miyazaki movies and the Pokemon cartoons. There's a big difference. Just because I wouldn't want Miyazaki movies to dumb down their artistic value and like their potential because he's making them for kids. That's the dumbest argument. Like, I think we all have inherent standards for kids entertainment that also appeals to adults. We already have this. The Sonic movies and this show, from what it looks like, is not approaching the levels of Lion King or Toy Story or Mario or Miyazaki or The Incredibles or E.T. or any of these other kids shows and movies that adults also enjoy. If you like the Sonic movies, fine. I know a lot of people like them, but I also know a lot of people are willing to admit that they're sort of dumb and really not on the same tier as like Toy Story, and those people are rational. It's like, yeah, they like a fun, dumb kids thing. It's like, enjoy the entertainment for what it is. But I personally would rather Sonic achieve its potential. Like, I wanted that for Mario, and I think we got it for Mario. The Mario movie, to me, compared to both of the Sonic movies and now this trailer, is so much more immersive. It's like, even though that the story in the Mario movie is admittedly very simple, the aesthetic and the atmosphere and the attention to detail, the attention to the source material is so much more impressive to me than anything that we've got from Sonic. Personally, I've said this many times, but I think the Sonic movies should be animated. And they should be animated exactly like Mario. And the funny thing is, I feel like most people would agree about this. The best parts of the Sonic movies are when Sonic or Knuckles or Tails or Robotnik are on screen doing something, right? So, in other words, the best parts of those movies are 99% CGI anyway. Why can't it just be animated? Why can't we have more imagination? Why can't we expect more things? Why do we have to settle for live action, low effort, Sonic and Knuckles running around a city or a neighborhood and then going to a pyramid for 5 minutes of the movie because they can't afford like to make that the whole movie because that would be too much money, your live action. Well, just do it animated then. There's so much more variety of locations and places that they could be going to look for treasure and all these things. If you can't afford it with live action, that doesn't mean you have to dumb down the live action content and like restrict the scope of the entire thing to like a freaking neighborhood with a bowling alley. That's stupid. And another thing, where are all the enemy types and Easter eggs from like Sonic Adventure? Why are we fighting some like thug that stole Robotnik's technology? There's so many like enemies that they could bring into this universe and like they're not doing it. Instead, we're stuck with Sonic and Knuckles driving in a car and listening to cringe sidekicks say dumb shit like this.
I was thinking more like reading or yoga.
Why are they sitting in cars? Why are they driving in cars, man? It's just not, I don't know. If you guys want to like restrict your standards and enjoy these movies, fine, that's fine. But there's nothing wrong with people saying that these movies could be a lot better or that the Sonic universe could be presented in a much more dynamic and interesting way than how they're being presented here. There's nothing wrong with anybody saying this. It would be like saying if they made a really bad live-action Mario movie, and then I said something like, man, I wish like Illumination would make a Mario movie. Then they could do like Mushroom Kingdom and like all these cool like Rainbow Road references and it would look better. And then people would be like, whoa, Lofty, it's a kid's franchise. Why don't you just settle for whatever we got? Why are you complaining about it? Well, the reason I'm complaining is because I know it has potential to be really cool, like the Mario movie did. Why are you the one that's like restricting my imagination or gaslighting and pretending that like this is not a possibility? They can't do any better than this. Anyway, this trailer just was sort of just very mid for me, very mid. Will I watch it? Probably. I want to see Knuckles do some stuff. Knuckles is fine. I like how they present Knuckles and Sonic and Tails and all these. I think Amy and Shadow are going to be in the next one. And I'm very aware that there's a bunch of humans in the Sonic universe. I'm aware of that. You know what other universe has humans? Mario. You know what Mario didn't do? Live action people. It did animated people. You know, The Incredibles does animated people. Just because the Sonic universe takes place in the real world doesn't mean that you have to use live action people. I've heard that from people too. And it's just like, why do you think that that's a good argument? Don't you know that I'm going to respond the way I just did and bring up The Incredibles and how they handled the real people in their universe? Anyway, that's enough ranting about Knuckles. If you're excited for it, I hope you like it. If you disagree, feel free to comment below and, give your take on these live action movies and why you don't think that it would just be infinitely better with like fully animated world building. And why do you think people have a hard time dealing with criticism when it comes to this show and these movies? Like, why? Why is Sonic any different than any other show that like people criticize? Why am I supposed to just turn my brain off and consume product? I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. I'm doing some more reviews. I'm probably going to be reviewing the incredibly boring first 2 episodes of Halo Season 2 and potentially Masters of the Air on Amazon. So stick around, subscribe and like, and leave a comment, and thanks for watching.